My name is Donnie Evers, NFL veteran from the Kansas City Chiefs and San Diego Chargers. For the last 13 years, I've been taking our World War II veterans back to their battlefields to honor them and to give them clothes.
You wanted to do something for your country. You wanted to do your part. That's where we took a real shellacking. It was the kamikazes. And kept telling myself I'm having a heart attack, but I was only 16, so how the hell can you have a heart attack when you're 16? I'm Rondo, and this is World War II through my eyes. Look at those beautiful eyes.
Well, this is wonderful, Mr. Scharfe, coming here. I know we've been talking about coming to Montana.
Rondo, none of that Mr. Scharfe stuff. Rondo, tell me, how do you stay in shape? Tell me your secret. I said, I told you my secret, I'd have to kill you.
Everybody calls you Rondo. You go by Rondo. I mean, Rondo's like worldwide now. Everybody knows Rondo. Where did that name come from?
Well, my name was Ron, so all the guys on the fire department back in Chicago, they all had nicknames like Mother and Fuzz and all kinds of names like that. And Rondo just kind of stuck with me back there, and it stuck with me all the rest of my life, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to talk about these things, you know, that go way back, but if you don't tell you now, you'll never know, and I'll feel better getting it off my chest. Have flashbacks about once a month or something like that after all these years. You know, back in the 40s, everything was gung-ho. Your country meant a real lot to you. Not that it doesn't today, but I mean, back then it was different. The wars were on, and you wanted to do something for your country. You wanted to do your part. We tried. I went down with a couple of buddies of mine, and we went to 3 different recruiting offices, and I was diddling around with mine with Lincoln and bleach to try and change my age, and I couldn't do it. The guy looked at me. He says, "Hey, come back in a couple of years, kid. Your birth certificate don't look too good."
How old were you at the time?
I was probably 15.
15.
Yeah.
Did most people in your area join the Navy since Great Lakes is right there in
No,
Chicago?
not really. No, guys were drafted, and some of the guys went down, and they went to Marines and the Army, the dog face, and the whole 9 yards. Some of them got in, some of them were old enough, But my sister got married at St. Thomas Aquinas, and I was in the back by the altar boys and stuff like that. I saw all these baptismal certificates on the counter. So I spared about 6 or 7 of them, and that way you could make it any age you wanted. It was the same as a birth certificate. Mm-hmm. So you could change it to any age you wanted. 3 months I was on Iwo. Our boot camp was real quick, real fast. January, colder than a welder's yo-yo, and it was something else.
That's incredible because I mean it's a different time now. It's like you guys wanted to serve, right? So the climate was a lot different than it is now. Because like you guys were willing and wanting and ready to sign up for service during World War II.
Well, you had to do something for your country, You felt not obligated, because I was too young to be obligated. But the thing is, it was something you just had to do, and you wanted to do it. Imagine you put yourself in a 16-year-old category. Everything was adventure back then. So going over, after we bivvied and stuff like that. We did our shakedown cruises and stuff like that. Going over, we ran into a lot of problems. 2 of our coxswains got killed, and those are the ones that run the LCVP, the Higgins boats, which is famous. Like Eisenhower said, the Higgins boats won the war. Oh man, that's something else.
These are the landing crafts that took the Marines to the shore.
Yeah, 36 guys in your boat. They're made out of wood, and I could really handle them really well when we were going through training down in Camp Bradford down in Virginia. And the skipper called me up and he says, Rondo, he says, we lost Mac and Eddie. He says, there are 2 of the coxswains. He says, you want to be a coxswain? I said, oh, yes, sir, hell yeah. He said, I like the way you handle the boats. I saw some pictures and stuff, and I saw what you did. So he says, okay, you're a coxswain. So he didn't have to take a test or anything, but he knew I could run the boats well.
And you had no fear knowing that The last two Coxswains.
You didn't even think of it.
You didn't think about it.
You didn't even give it a thought.
Wow.
But the hard part was when the guys, when we'd be over the side and I'd keep my boat close to the cargo net with the guys coming down. Some of them were falling down, some of them were getting their legs stuck, and the carbines were falling all over the place. But I mean, I was really shook up then. But I knew I had to do it, and I did what I had to do. So going over the side, the guys had filled the boat, and we went in and bivvied for about 2.5, 3 hours. 9 o'clock in the morning, we headed into Iwo. They had steak dinners for all the guys and stuff like that on ship, on the LSTs. When you're going in, you know, you got stuff popping around you. We got in there by 9 o'clock in the morning, and it was complete chaos. Like, I got a picture up on the wall there showing you can hardly see where you're at. But anyway, we were trying to get to the beach. I had full throttle on it, and we hit something in about 14, 16 foot of water.
What beach did you come in on?
Right here, the left side of them boulders. Coming in, I had the old LCVP. I had it in full throttle. We hit an obstruction. That's when I went over the wheel, tore up my sternum, busted my teeth, knocked my nose out. Couldn't breathe, and kept telling myself I'm having a heart attack. But I was only 16, so how the hell can you have a heart attack when you're 16? And the next thing I know, I'm down on the deck, and the guys are drowning all around me. I got myself up, leaned over the side, and one of the guys that had his pack on. He had his glasses, and the blood from my face is going right on top of his glasses, and he's got his arms up. I can't reach him, and I'm feeling really bad. That I can't do anything, but in the same token, I kept thinking, how many more breaths can I take before I'm out of it, you know? First time I ever saw a dead guy real close, he was cut in half, and he dragged me right over the top of him. He was in 2 pieces. And I thought, is this what it is? You know, is this what's going to happen to us, you know, all of us? You know, a lot of things go through your mind, but the thing is, I got through that, laid up on the beach, and medics get a hold of you, start pumping you full of needles and stuff, and everything. You know, you did what you had to do then. You know, it was all right up front. There was no turning around. You weren't going back anywhere. Next thing I know, we were on our way to Okinawa. Then it got really bad with the kamikazes, because we had a DE, a destroyer escort, next to us. One of them went right down the stack on that thing, and we picked up a bunch of guys off of that. That's where we took a real shellacking, was the kamikazes, the Divine Wind, the suicide planes. Then things kind of calmed down a little bit. I remember going up to the cemeteries, up on the hill where they were burying the guys, and they had these little pill boxes that were really round. And I remember seeing guys with their heads off sitting on top of them things. They'd just put your head up on top of their, you know, and you know, there's certain things I can't say now, but anyway, that was really got to you. This is not easy to talk about it now even, but somebody's got to know what's going on.
This is through your eyes, right? So we all see the world, we all see the war, we see things differently, and this is through Rondo's eyes. And I've been fortunate to take you on a few programs so far back to the battlefields, and talk about going back to back to the Pacific and going back to Iwo Jima. You know, what were you thinking before? Did you have a little bit of anxiety going back?
I did, you know. We went down on the beach, and I could see this giant boulder about the size of the house here. It was on the right-hand side, and I remember that boulder.
I remember you walked all the way to the water.
Oh yeah.
And it was far. I mean, because everybody else was over here.
Yeah.
I think you were the only. Down? I think you were the only Iwo Jima survivor that walked. It must have been, I don't know, 700 yards.
I don't know.
500 yards. It was like down the little ravine and everything.
Right, yeah.
You said, "I'm here and I'm going there."
Yeah, you tried picturing what it was like back then, because I mean, you couldn't see very much, you know, with all the smoke and all the smells and all the stuff that was going on. But so you thought, look at how peaceful it is now. The tears come to your eyes. You can't stop those because that's what you feel in your heart. You got to remember the poor bros that didn't get a chance to live the kind of life that I lived. You got to appreciate every day you got because you can lose it in a whisper.
Making to the NFL is a dream come true. Played 14 years in the NFL, which is great because now we're giving this platform to do what we're doing here with the Best Defense Foundation, giving you gentlemen an opportunity to go back, to find closure, to go back to the battlefields with your brothers. You know, you're not going back with family. You guys are all going back with the boys that were there.
Brings a tear to your eye to know that, you know, we're being remembered. This is for all the guys, not just for me. It's for everybody.
This country wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for men and women like yourself.
I'm lucky. I got 18 more years to go, and that way I'll be the oldest combat vet from World War II. And you guys will be laughing. You'll be looking at the TV. Hey, there's old Rondo.
Yeah,
he's not even using a cane. Nobody ever better burn the flag when I'm around. They better take their hat off when they play the Star Spangled Banner, and they better stand up. Because if they don't, I'll do it for them. I'm Rondo, and this is World War II through my eyes. Look at those beautiful eyes.